Yo, what's going on out there, YouTube family? We are back for another spoiler review for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Star-Spangled Man, I believe that's the name of this episode. Am I wrong, Lucas?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to episode names.
But let's go ahead and kind of dive deep. This is spoiler filled, so if you hadn't seen the episode yet, definitely go and check it out. And if you would like to see an updated movie review, we just got done looking at Godzilla versus Kong. So definitely go and check out our review for that.
You was gonna say it right the first time. But go ahead.
I can't with you. But yeah, in this episode, it kind of kicks off from the last episode. Your boy Sam's looking at the TV, his sister's looking at it, and she's like, yo, oh my gosh. And so, but the thing that I think Lucas mentioned it, is that the moment that Bucky was looking at the TV, and he was just like, oh, heck no. Like, he found Sam real quick. He was like popping off in his face, like, how in the world can you do that? How can you disrespect, Cap to do that? And you're trying to wonder, like, why does he making such a bigger deal out of this than it needs to be? But they do, in my opinion, that's one of the things I love about this show, is they break down these characters and the human grounded sides of them. I think that Bucky in this one showed a lot that I really did appreciate in this one, because he decided to go on Sam with his mission, stuff like that. But really, he wanted to stay as close to Sam as possible to try to get through what he was feeling on the inside, because it all went down to the crux of the conversation he had with Sam in front of the therapist.
Yes.
And it was kind of like, he said, like, you shouldn't have done that, because at the end of the day, Cap trusted you to do that. And if he could trust you to do that and he trusted me, maybe he was wrong about both of us. Because Sam was like, well, this is what I really felt like was the right thing to do. And I felt like that's a really interesting dynamic between them as characters that I really care about. That's the reason why I'm sold on the show. But anyway, before I even go into all that, what did you think about this episode? What was the strongest points of this episode for you?
As the only person to actually give a solid, good review on the first episode of this show, I thought the second one wasn't bad. I mean, it didn't hold the same weight for me that the first episode did, but it did a good job of continuing the progression of Bucky. And that's the most important part for me for this show, is his progression and him still dealing with his emotional issues and trying to get that under wraps and dealing with the man he was and attempting to becoming this new character. I didn't really need much Falcon in this one. I love the new Captain American guy, and I need someone to explain to me why he's an asshole. He just seems to be perfect to me right now, except for the gun part.
So I think what's happening is you have a character in John Walker, and he's the very first person you see in this one. And you get to understand that he's a decorated soldier. He's kind of a Boy Scout, kind of what people perpetuate him to be. But you can tell there's an edge to him that we haven't seen unwoken yet. And I think that's something that Steve never did or had. Steve was kind of like the innocent person that became a soldier for specific reasons. And I think what's going to end up happening, in my opinion, is that he's going to end up getting a form of the super soldier serum. Because what was interesting to me was that I was kind of like, oh, well, he ain't got no powers. He's doing all this. This is dope.
Yes, this is
freaking dope.
That was the most impressive thing, that he was doing all of that with no powers. None, one bit so powers, and he was doing all of that. And some of his action scenes were great for somebody with no powers.
Yeah. And I think this is Kurt Russell's son. Is that right?
Is it?
I thought it was. Let me make sure. I might be wrong. Yeah, it is Kurt Russell. This is Wyatt. Yeah, Wyatt Russell.
I did not know that was Wyatt Russell.
Yeah, because it was a movie that he played in. It was The Overlord. And I was kind of like, that was when I found out about him.
Kurt and Goldie's son.
Yeah. So shout out to him. But I thought his character is very interesting,
Yes.
I don't necessarily think he's a bad guy yet, but they are lining him up to fail, in my personal opinion. And it's not even so much like whether, Bucky should get it or Sam should get it. It's more so like his own self-doubt and his dependency on his best friend. I forget what his best friend's name is, but he has a lot of dependency on this guy. And I feel like what will end up happening is he's going to get in over his head because he's doing stuff too quickly. Like he's like, I got the authority to do this. So Sam, you're going to be working with me. Bucky, you're going to be working with me. You're going to be doing this. And he hasn't even gotten his bearings yet. Regardless of the soldier standpoint, like it's a difference in the situation that's going on. And he's used to working with allies, but one of the things that Cap had at his advantage is his not only superhero ability, but also working solo with stuff. And so I think what's going to happen is his friends
Hold on,
what
did Cap work solo and do? Now I'm
no, you know what I mean. Like as far as like if Cap got dropped into a situation, then he'd be able to get himself out without any kind of necessary help. I mean, he had help at all times.
That's because he took a superhero serum.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that eventually what's going to happen is Wyatt is going to need a super soldier serum. Because I feel like... Go ahead.
It's because they're setting him up to fight super soldiers. Like, he's not fighting normal people here.
Yeah.
Like, we saw Cap fight normal people with superhero serum. And he was fighting normal people until it got ridiculous. So, I mean, he's just stuck in a situation where, to me, he's just a soldier. He understands following orders, following commands, doing what needs to be done. That's what he understands. And this whole episode felt like him just, hey, I'm trying to have us work together. Everything he tried to do was for them to work together. Because as a soldier, he understands you are as strong as the people you surround yourself with. So he's like, hey, we can work together. We can do this. And it's Bucky and Sam's like, no, we don't want to work with you. And I think that in closing scene of him saying, great, then don't get in my way. Mm-hmm. Perfect. I fully understand. At this point, I am all about him being the right person here. 1,000% in the right.
But do you think that he's not in over his head because he don't know the circumstance of this? Like, this is something that Bucky's been fighting for a good amount of history. Like, he understands this better than anybody. And it wasn't even on some, like, I need Cap's right-hand guy. There was no respect there. I mean, it was kind of like, I have this shield. It's been given to me. I have the authority to do this.
He has responsibility now because he has a responsibility.
He does, but
Bucky doesn't. Bucky can literally walk away and not care. And we've seen him do that before. So it's not like it's not something he's done. He can just walk away and not care. Kind of this episode pinpoints that he's done that before. So at that point, who would be in the wrong? The guy who said, hey, yes, right now I'm the man. I would love to work with you. 1,000% so would love to work with you. And they like, nah, we won't work with you.
I really don't think he wants to work with them, though. I think that he needs them. And I think he knows he needs them, but I don't think he really wants to.
I mean, same difference. What's the difference?
I think it's kind of like
he's not a friendly guy. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, no.
He's technically playing it. He's a soldier. Soldiers aren't friendly people. For some odd reason, besides Sam Wilson, who wasn't actually a soldier. He was a marketing tool. Soldiers aren't friendly people.
I mean, Sam's friendly.
Is he? Is he friendly? Or did he not tell Bucky, after this is over, you will never see me again and I never want to see you again? That's not a friendly person.
But so he's got a sense of humor. How about that? He's got a sense of humor.
Sam wasn't joking when he said that. He was dead serious.
No, he was.
But that's what I mean. Like, to me, it's coming across like a power struggle.
Mhm. Oh
They
yeah,
here's the
it's a
part.
battle for the cap. I said that
It's
at the
not
beginning.
just him not readily accepting them. It's them not accepting him.
Oh no, they're both feeling the weight of their choices and what they made. Sam made a conscientious choice to let go and disregard the shield on his own because he felt like I was right.
Mm-hmm.
Bucky decided to not fight, uh, Cap's decision to give it to Sam instead of him. He chose that. That's his choice. But
Yep.
now they're both having to face the reality that they both technically let
Gave
go
up
of the
the mantle,
responsibility. They
and now
both
they're
gave it up.
mad that someone else has it.
Yeah,
Boy,
yeah.
that sounds odd, right? I know I'm not the only one who feels that sounds odd. That you're jealous that you gave up something and it got given to someone else who technically is a perfect prototype of a person who you would want to give it to.
I think the ninja gonna. I think it's gonna backfire, bro.
Oh,
I
of
think this
course it
Joker
is.
gonna.
Come on, man. I don't know the comic books, but I know the angle that they're setting up here. He's gonna probably take the serum and become evil or whatever of that nature. But he said it best when Bucky and Sam were getting their butts kicked. And he said it like, hey, before we showed up, looked like y'all was getting your asses kicked. And he's 1,000% right about that. So while we
Yeah,
look at it like he's over his head because he does not have the same powers that Cap did, at the same time, aren't we seeing that Sam and Bucky are over their head because they don't have the same powers that Cap did?
I mean, well, Bucky does, but Sam
But
definitely don't.
Bucky ain't using them because I clearly
Oh
see
no,
he got his butt tore up
he
that
did.
whole fight.
He did. So, but I still, it goes back to what I'm thinking about his friend, because his wife or his girlfriend or whoever she was, she talked to him first in the very beginning, and then she said to him, "All right, it's your turn." And the friend basically left the platform of everything. He was like, "All of this is a part of it. Like you're going
Yep.
out there doing this and selling it and marketing it, but then you also have to do the other side of it. And I got your back with it." And I feel like when the moment that he loses him, I think that's when he's going to go codependent on needing a serum. I think it's going to go beyond like, okay, what was that terrible Incredible Hulk movie where Abomination initially was just a straight soldier, and then he realized what he's going up against, he needed something more of an edge. I think that what's the Thunderbolt Ross is going to make an appearance and present this to this man. I think that's what's going to end up happening.
I
But
mean, in all
we'll see.
honesty, I mean, wouldn't he need it?
I mean, he
Let's be real
definitely
here.
needs it.
Like,
I think he needs it.
as a normal person, would you survive the way they have this universe set up right now?
So this is the thing in the comics, some kind of a way, Sam did, and I don't. Again, I don't know
Because
where this is
he
going.
has magic tech. Let's say it is what it is. He has magic tech. Like he's not doing it based off of him fighting hand to hand to people. We see him flying and throwing things at people. Like he's not standing there to fight. He will fly away in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
So
he plays it really smart. He plays his fight sequence really smart.
so
But
it's a
anyway,
bit different than someone taking on the mantle of Cap and having to be Cap without the thing that makes him Cap. Like, would you put a regular person in Superman's costume and then say, guess what? You're the new Superman. He said, hey, I literally have no powers. And they're like, so what? You're the new Superman. It don't work like that. It
so
don't work like that.
I'm asking this question without any comic book understanding, but based on what you're seeing from the MCU, why did Captain America give the shield to Sam?
It
In
makes
your opinion?
absolutely no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. You gave that shield to a regular person without acknowledging that you have superpowers. Like you have to acknowledge that before you give that type of mantle to somebody. Like nigga, Iron Man would have been better giving Sam that suit than Cap did giving him the shield. It made no sense to me. Come on, it's a setup.
All right, so
Why
let's
did
go
he
into
tell
some.
Bucky? Explain. Granted, I know Bucky's a killer. Yes, but he's a super soldier. Still, he's a super soldier.
I think that there's a genuine respect that Bucky has for who and what Cap stands for as well. Like Bucky will be willing to change for Steve. And I think he is. I mean, I think that from the moment that Steve saved him and brought him back, he's been trying to.
So again, Samuel, why wouldn't you give the shield to the guy who's like you?
But no, I'm saying that's what Cap did. Not
in the comics.
No, I'm talking about in the movie universe. Cap gave the freaking shield to Sam before he gave it to Bucky. Again, from a comic book standpoint, it initially went when Steve died. When he actually died, Bucky took up the mantle. Then later on, Cap came back, but this time he didn't die. He gave it to Sam. So I look,
and yet nobody knows why. Nobody knows
I'm
why.
Not gonna.
He gave the shield to his little black friend with no powers. That makes perfectly good sense. See what I mean? This is why people question certain things when it pertains to comic books. Because you gave him something you knew he could never live up to. That's the most screwed up thing in the world to do. You don't have powers.
But to be fair, John Walker doesn't have any powers. And I think maybe that's what this is about. Is trying to say that a human can do it, maybe? I don't know.
But if you say a human can do it, well, clearly a human can do it because he gave it to Sam to do it. And then they got mad because it went to a different human. In the end, both of you are the same person. Like, you're normal people. Normal. Jeez Louise. Even, I mean, we weren't even supposed to be talking about the angle of why the hell would you give a shield to a normal person with no powers? And before anyone in the comments say something stupid, like, well, Cap knew him and he has honor, integrity. All that's great. He gave him a shield knowing good goddamn well he can't protect himself because he doesn't have superpowers. That makes no sense. I'm waiting to the day that Superman gives Connor his suit and says, "You're Superman now." It's like, I don't have your powers. Why would you do this to me? That's what Sam should have said. No, you're not setting me up this way. I'm gonna be Falcon. I'm gonna fly around in my little plane, my little wings, and I'm not gonna be Captain America. But I digress. Let's get into Black Captain America.
Yeah, so even before we get to Black Captain America, there was a conversation that was had that when they went to Baltimore, Maryland, and Bucky was like, I have somebody that I really want you to kind of meet. They get there and these kids are like, "Yo, I know you. You're the Black Falcon." And like he was like, "What? Why can't I just be Falcon?" He was like, "No, you're the Black Falcon." He's like, "Are you the Black whoever?" He's like, "Nah." And I was like, I like that. I like that line. But what was interesting to me was when they got there and they met up with your boy.
So hold up, quick, because I think that's a good point here. Hold up. So can I just call him Panther from now on?
Panther?
Mm-hmm. Just going by Sam's logic here.
Can Wait, no. Hold on. Because the Black Panther calls himself the Black Panther. But Black Lightning calls himself Black Lightning.
Why? We can have, you know what?
I don't know why.
That's a discussion for another time. Because I have questions now. Because he's right. And the kid is right. You're Black Falcon. And he's like, why am I Black Falcon? Because I'm black? He's like, yeah. That's why he's Black Panther. Because he's black. Like, why can't you be Black Falcon?
Look, I think that those guys, they conscientiously chose their names. But Falcon chose.
We ain't gonna talk about it. We're not even gonna talk about it.
Yeah,
he's Black Falcon. From there,
but we're gonna go to oh my gosh,
Black Captain America, who doesn't call himself that, but everyone else who I've known has called him Black Captain America.
You're funny, Lucas. You're funny. All right, so Isaiah Bradley. Isaiah Bradley is the quote unquote black Captain America. He was experimented on post-war, and they had him based on the MCU and just talking about this continuity. They had him go on to this covert operation to try to stop the Winter Soldier, and they actually had a tussle. I think that he actually beat Bucky based on his verbiage, and Bucky didn't deny it. And what ended up happening was, after all his years of service, they put him to prison for about 30 years. After the 30-year time frame, he ended up getting back. Cap, based on the MCU's and what Bucky said, that Cap never knew. He never told Cap. I don't know why he still won't just tell Cap now, because Cap's still alive, but whatever.
No, well, we're not gonna act like Cap's still alive. We're supposed to think he's dead, or not in a state where it matters.
I'm not even gonna go there. But as far as this story, he ended up coming back home, but he really couldn't use his body. Like, he really couldn't do anything. And then eventually he got his ability to be able to talk and speak again later on. But he's much older now, and he's living with his grandson. His grandson's living with him, vice versa. I really thought this was a really dope deep cut. A lot of people knew that this was coming. If any of you guys saw like the original John Simperton Spider-Man animated series, they actually had him first debut up there on the animated level, which I thought was that was the first time I actually heard about his character. And I was like, oh wow, that was a black Captain America. I was like, it's really dope. But the difference with this situation is that Isaiah was like, bro, you better get up out of my house. Like, I don't want to hear nothing about this. I don't care about anything about it. And he still very much so has his superhuman ability. But what ended up happening was that your boy Sam was offended. Sam was like, Bucky, how are you not going to sit there and tell me this? And what I wanted to kind of break down to you is not even so much about the Black Captain America. Why do you feel, because I have my own opinion about it. Why do you feel like Bucky felt offended or upset that, Bucky never told him?
You mean
like,
Sam,
why did
Sam
why did Sam feel a way that I feel like I know, but I'm curious your
because he's black? I'm sorry to be very blunt about it.
Well, no, I mean, we'll break that down a little bit. Break it down just a little bit. I know what you mean, but break it down a little bit for everybody else out there.
Oh, because I don't know how to break that down. To me, it's okay. Here's the thing. Logically, it makes no sense for him to be mad about that at all. And the reason why is because he wouldn't have been the only person tested on. Since he's not the only person tested on, are you mad because there are multiple people with this power out there? Or are you mad because he's a black man and had this done to him? And do you think of it in a negative way? But then if you're thinking about it in a negative way with a negative connotation, you would know how history went. Why wouldn't he? Like, this would have logically happened. So what's the upsetness with Bucky? It makes no sense because we know who Bucky is. Bucky's a killer. And Sam knows he's a killer. Bucky's not sharing huge portions of his past at all. Has he told Sam that he killed Tony Stark's parents? Like, it's certain things he's not gonna have conversations about.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even tell Cap.
Yeah,
so why would he tell Sam?
Situation? Yeah, and clearly him and Sam aren't that close. Like, they're cool, but they're not close to the extent where you could be mad he didn't tell you. To him, this is part of his past. Yeah. So besides him being black and being experimented on, what other reason is there to be mad?
So this is a shot in the dark, and I might be completely wrong about it. But the way that I kind of took it was that it goes back to the conversation they have much later on about the Shield in general. I think that Sam, beyond him not having powers and beyond him thinking this was the right thing to do, I think a part of him, there was no point of reference to him to look like, okay, me as a black man being the new Captain America, what does this really mean? to see that there was actually somebody doing what Cap did and doing it for a longer period of time and getting shelled for it was kind of like, I took it that he was like, man, you could have told me that there's an example of somebody doing what Cap asked me to do. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I took from it. I mean, I think that definitely he felt a way about, this black man getting mistreated like that. But I think it was more so about, to me, that there was an example of an actual black Captain America out there that I never knew about, that I never knew existed. That
But
the
would
world
it be an
should know about.
would it be an example of what would happen with you? You can't even compare the two. He was a black man in the 40s. No, there literally is no comparison between what you would go through in 2021 or 2020, whatever this is supposed to be, versus what he went through in the 40s. He was a black Captain America saving people when black people didn't have rights to do anything.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying that that was been somebody he would have looked up to be like, okay, he was doing this then. Maybe I should be trying to attempt to do this now. That's the way I kind of took it.
So then Steve wouldn't have been enough?
No. Like, at the moment that Steve gave him
What I mean
mantle.
But that's what I mean. So now we're going back to one thing and one thing only. Because he was black. It's very simple. You went around that bush, but you got right back to the point of because he's black. It is what it is.
I mean, it is, but I'm saying because I think it could have been
what the anger could have been. How many more super soldiers? But no, that can't even be anger because they just fought super soldiers. So serum is out there, and a multitude of people have been interjected with this serum. Did you think they just skipped all black people?
Yeah. So the way I kind of looked at it is kind of like if Batman came to me and was like, "Look, I want you to be the new Batman." I had no. I don't got no money. I don't have any kind of gadgets whatsoever, but you're going to be the new Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And like, all of a sudden I was like, yeah, nah, I ain't about that life, homie. But then he's gone. But then somebody kind of shows me, before Bruce was even doing this, like there's another person that was a black man who's doing the same exact thing. I think I would have looked at it like, whoa, there is a point of reference. Maybe I could try to do this. I think that's the way I looked at it.
But would the point of reference be, and I'm just using your analogy here, would the point of reference is you being Batman? Because the other black man wouldn't have had no money. Wouldn't he just been a nigga in a costume? Like it still doesn't make sense.
But no, I think I look at it like the mantle itself.
You're trying to say if he saw it as a black person being Captain America, that would have made him change his mind? Because I don't think that was, unless they are going to the lowest common denominator, that the reason why he didn't want to be Captain America is he's black. That's a bigger issue altogether. A huge issue.
That's what I was. That's the reason why I was.
If you're telling me the whole purpose of it is that I'm black, so I shouldn't be Captain America, how can I represent this country and be a black man? Guess what? Knowing that it was a black man who was a captain, was something of a Captain America, and they put him in prison for 30 years. That ain't gonna change my mind. That kind of seals it. Ain't no way in hell I'm helping y'all, Joe. That's why I say I don't believe that's the weight behind it, because that opens up other questions, and I don't think Marvel wants those other questions to be asked. I think this was just a situation of he black, and you didn't tell me they was experimenting on black people, but then you would want to question Sam and say, didn't they always experiment on black people? Like, is it that Bucky was involved in the program? Because that makes way more sense for him to be upset about that portion of it. That Bucky somehow knows way more information about this program, about the super serum program, than he's letting on. Then yes, Sam should be extremely upset. And I always took it in that moment beyond the dude being black, because I had to think myself and say, wait a minute, he can't be mad at just because this man's black and it's happened. I said, maybe he's upset because the program. How much more stuff does Bucky know about this program that you're not sharing with me? Because if it's him and you know about this in the 40s, that means this has been going on since for what, the 20s, since Steve became a super soldier? Steve was frozen, so he didn't know anything else was happening. But Bucky, you knew everything else was going on here.
But see, I think the thing about everybody be trying to be quick to blame Bucky, but Bucky just got right in his mind, bro. Like,
oh,
Bucky,
no. But yeah, we agree with that. They shouldn't be blaming Bucky for it. Like he wasn't. We know what happened to him, so clearly. But that's what I mean by he ain't one to share stuff. He's just getting everything back together again. But if Sam's going to be mad, you would be mad that this wasn't shared to you. But then you better have an understanding of why it isn't shared to you.
True.
But
it's
then,
true.
But see, then why would Bucky go see Isaiah? He went to go see Isaiah to tell him that the program was still going on. Nigga, you could have did that without going to see him.
Or maybe he was asking them questions about.
No, they were setting up Young Avengers. You know exactly why he went to go see Isaiah. We're not. Come on, man. Come on. Well, we're not gonna lie. Wanda created kids for Young Avengers. We're getting a whole Hawkeye thing for Young Avengers. Like, we know why he went to go see Isaiah. Because in all honesty, it doesn't make sense. He said, I know someone that could help. In what way did you think he would help you?
I mean,
because that means if Bucky knew where he lived, that means you knew what happened to him afterwards. Why would he help you?
I mean,
exactly.
Look, we're not gonna go there,
but you needed the pathway for the Young Avengers.
But it definitely is his patriotism guy. Which, yeah, you got the Patriot here. You got the young grandson who will eventually be the Patriot. I don't know how they're gonna maneuver around his backstory, just all splashed all over the place. But it definitely does lay the foundation for it. I don't know if they're gonna I think that they wouldn't. I feel like they wouldn't bring Isaiah Bradley into this if they weren't going to have another episode where he's heavily involved. Can we agree on that they're going to bring him back? It wasn't just a one-time thing. Do you think it was a one-time thing?
Yes, I actually do think it's a one-time thing. I think it was just a one-time thing.
I don't see why do it then.
We literally said it what it was for. It is to set up Young Avengers. So you don't need him in this show again. You just need to know that he exists. You need to know he exists.
Because this whole thing
do you think they're going to put the costume back on him and make him fight super soldiers?
No. I think that, well...
Oh, God. If you put that costume back on him and make him fight super soldiers, you better bring back Steve. Steve is still alive, as you pointed out, and he's just as old as he is.
Look, all this is about a battle for a cow, and the man is still alive. Look, I really don't know.
The whole point of this is them trying to find out more about this serum and more about these new super soldiers that are popping up.
Yeah,
and that's why I assume again that Sam was mad. Is because if this has been going on this long and you have information, why aren't you sharing that you have information about this program? Because if you share this information about this program, maybe we'll find out who's continuing this program.
But then it was crazier than that because whose idea was it to go to Zemo?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Was that Sam or was that...
They said something about Russian something, and then they said we need to go talk to Zemo. And I said, I mean, I ain't seen him since T'Challa was hugging him in winter or something. They were on a little island or something. I don't know. That's the last time I saw this guy. So I'm confused on how he's helping here at all.
Yeah, I we'll see where that goes. But
the episode was good.
No, the episode was really good.
I want to say that because it sounds like I'm shitting on the episode. I am not shitting on the episode. It's just lots of things that just are unnecessary. They're trying to point my new Captain America like he's evil. My new Captain America is not evil, and y'all will not make him evil. Y'all better not make him evil.
He's gonna be evil, Lucas.
I know he's gonna be evil, and that's so wrong. That's so wrong. He's the perfect soldier. I was cheering for him.
Well,
y'all better not like put a "Make America Great" hat on him either.
Look,
like
you better
pinpoint that he's evil.
Just give your hopes up on him. But the other thing I was going to talk about is the reason why I felt like it had more to do than just the black thing. Is what happened to Sam after they left Isaiah's house. They left Isaiah's house, walking down the street, just having a normal conversation. I don't know where they were trying to go. But then daggone the cops rolled up on me, man. Sam! And what happened?
And they were there to defend the white man.
Sam.
Here's the thing, people. I know Marvel, and I know this is a poignant moment for them to like have the cops pull up, and then you have to play with race and say, because Sam is here, and this is like he's Falcon, but if he wasn't Falcon, could you imagine what could happen to a black man in this situation? What part of Baltimore are you pulling up to when you're interjecting into this type of fight? I know people don't know about Baltimore. Let me help you out here. They wouldn't have stopped there, and there ain't gonna be no fucking one cop stopping in Baltimore, and they're not stopping a black man and a white man in that neighborhood from talking to each other in Baltimore. When no cops that showed up, them cops showed up out of nowhere, very quick. Come on, son. Come on, man. Like, I understand you're trying to make a point here, but when you do it heavy-handedly, it's unnecessary. I didn't need the race play there, Marvel. It's like they are heavily. Oh my god, that irritated me. The moment it came up, it irritated me because it's the second time, right? Second time we've had a race play with Falcon.
Because first it was the bank situation, and then it was.
It's clearly pointing to you towards him being Captain America.
I told you that was going to happen.
No. But I said they pointed. I still don't think they're going to go it because it's too. I hope not, because it's too simple and it's obvious right now. Way too obvious right now. I'm trying to give Marvel credit of saying they're not going to go that obvious with it, of setting up this black man going through all of this stuff and him becoming a new Captain America as a symbol for black people. If they do some bullshit like that and try to make him the symbol for black people because he's Captain America, look, no.
Lucas, I need you to prepare yourself for that, because
if they do it, this is the biggest coon of a show humanly possible.
Oh my God!
They better not do that. They better not do that. No.
So what you're saying is that if they don't make Bucky the new Captain America, or if they don't just give the shield back to
here's the thing. It's the way they're playing with race right now that I have an irritation with. Dude, that cop scene pissed me off so much so. I'm like, hold up, they're supposed to be in Baltimore. Nigga, I know what happens in Baltimore. That's not what happens in Baltimore. Like, am I supposed to come on. No, Marvel. Nuh-uh. You can make him Black Captain America. You can, with no issue. Could we not play on the race parts of it? Because then it's gonna come as the symbol of hope for black people. And that's why they said, well, I'm not. If he says some bullshit like I'm not Black Captain America, I'm Captain America, because the kid pointed out the thing about you're Black Falcon. Come on, dude. You already Sam, no. Fuck ass no.
Well, the interesting thing, after that moment happened, they let him go, but then Bucky got locked up for not making his he got met up with
mandated therapy session.
Yeah, with the old girl, and so they locked his tail up, which I thought that was them cleaning that up really quick. So it's kind of like both of them in the
because they went from the cops pulling them over and asking Bucky, "Are you okay?" Just saying, you got to be fucking kidding me here. And it takes for Bucky to point out to them, "You don't know who he is? He's a famous Negro." Like, are you joking here? Come on, man.
But he got locked up anyway, so either way, they both ended up in the same place at the jail. I don't know how did the therapist have the authorization to keep Sam in the therapy session? Did you get? I didn't understand that part. I know she was former military, but I didn't know.
And Sam's not active military, so why would she have any say so on that? It makes no sense. It's just like that wasn't a request. I'm like, nigga, yes, it is. Like, I don't belong to you.
Yeah,
You can't do.
I
Oh
mean, their
man.
banter is funny. I mean, I don't have any problem with it, but
But then this is when you had a discussion from Sam of him saying, "I don't want nothing to do with you anymore."
yeah, that's exactly when that happened. But I feel like, to be honest, and she said it, the therapy sessions, Bucky had been blocking. He hadn't been
Mm-hmm.
really honest about anything. And I mean, as much as the conversation ended in a way, this is the most they've both been honest about the situation. Like,
Yes.
from Sam talking about the shield and why he actually did it. And he even kind of threw Cap's name in. He's like, I know between both of y'all, this I felt was the right thing to do. And then, what Bucky said. I actually appreciated the dialogue. It was weird. Like, there was moments where I was kind of like, oh, I don't know what's going on. And again, what did you think about the action moments? We ain't talked about the villains. We ain't talked about the action moments. But what did you think about any of the action moments in this episode?
They weren't too bad. Amazingly, it felt, and this is going to sound odd, it felt like a step down in quality from what I got to see from WandaVision. And their action moments, like the whole tanker scene, the freight
Oh, the
carrier
trucks with the.
thing. Yeah, it seemed off a little bit. And it was partially the special effects at times seemed to be a little off.
Mm.
But the scene was still nice, and it wasn't as nice as the first episodes. Stuff off the first episode looked better than this one did.
I
Which
think
is kind of surprising.
all of Sam's aerial stuff looked a lot better in the first episode than it did in the second episode. And I think part of that was because they were trying to do a lot of stuff with the practical, like, choreographed fight scenes and stuff like that. But the weird thing about that is, I feel like, and I might be wrong, do y'all feel like Bucky is holding back?
I said that, didn't I? When I say
Because I mean, but why? Why? I mean, is he trying not to kill people? Is it?
I think so. But that's the key part of Bucky's character in this show is he's trying not to go as. If he goes 100%, I think he wonders, would it take him back? Which would be to the killer that he's been having nightmares about being.
Yeah.
Because he's a trained killer. Them little dudes should not have been able to manhandle him the way they did.
I mean, they do got powers.
Even with Bucky has powers. They should, and the difference is, again, he's a trained killer. You should not be able to manhandle him that way.
I mean, if we went and looked at the Bucky of the Winter Soldier and Civil War, compared to this one, Lucas is right in that regard, because
he murdered everybody on their way.
I've seen the Winter Soldier, like, especially when you think about, what was it in Civil War, when he freaking lost it and almost killed everybody. Yeah, he almost killed everybody. So yeah, no, I think that there's definitely some truth to that.
I mean, his fights with Cap. These little dudes should not be an issue for him. But I always assumed he was holding back because, again, he doesn't understand where that will take him to, and that's the fear. And that's the good part about the show is consequences for their actions. Bucky feels he has a consequence for his action that he doesn't want to live through.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just, I don't know, man. I feel like it was in moments like that they could have had moments where he didn't hold back and have him trying to struggle against that.
I think that's later on in the series. I think we're going to get those moments of him not holding back. Give it just on the second episode. Give it like episode 4.
Oh, there is something that he did say to the therapist. He was like, "What's the second rule?" or something like that. Don't hurt people. And he implied in the first episode you kill people. So yeah, maybe this might go to that point. Maybe it might get to that point, but we'll see. We'll see. I did enjoy the episode. What did you give it as far as rating?
Let's see. I gave the first one an 8. I think I gave the first one 8.5 out of 10. So I'm gonna give this one 7.5 out of 10. It's a little less than the first episode. Still good though. Still entertaining. Besides you playing with race, I'm not gonna deal with that much longer. Marvel, stop freaking playing around. I understand you lost T'Challa. I don't need a black replacement. I really don't. Don't you do it. And I'm not saying he can't be Captain America, but we can make him Captain America without it being a complete play on race. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think they've gone too far at this point for you to justify it?
I'm gonna just need them to no. I just don't need to see it again. If he gets pulled over by another motherfucker or gets oppressed in any way again because he's black, then I'm gonna have a problem. I'm gonna have a problem if you feel the need to oppress him to make it more powerful when he becomes Black Captain America.
So I'm trying to figure out how the world, and it's one of the things I hate about trailers and TV spots. How the world they even get the shield back? Because the trailers been the first. Yeah,
every trailer has showed him with the shield and throwing it at the tree, and that's what you're waiting for here. You're waiting for that moment.
Like, how the heck does that happen? Because I feel like at this point, that's the end of the series.
Look here again, certain, or maybe it'll never show up.
What you mean?
Maybe it will never show up in this season. Him doing that with the shield. Come on, we're not going to act like we haven't seen things in trailers before that don't show up in the project.
Bro, listen to me carefully. Now, you mad about what they're doing with Sam, but I'm gonna tell you, if they decide to not, they even showed it in the last TV spot. That was like less than 2 weeks ago.
Hey, it's awesome. If
they don't have this, if they have this ninja not throwing no gosh darn shield, and that joint was fake, regardless of either whatever happens, I would.
If it's a dream sequence.
No. No, I ain't even seen all of it. They had this man training with a gosh darn shield, bro. No.
Oh, what happened if it's a dream sequence?
No,
that would be funny. Oh, what happened if it's not actually Cap's shield, and it's another shield?
Man, get that trash out of here, bro. Look,
hey, I'm just saying. All possibilities are open right now. All possibilities are open, except for y'all playing with race again. That's not a possibility. Stop that. You got a good show going on. You don't need to.
I do think that what would be the most surprising thing, and Lucas brought it up, is if they gave it to Bucky. Because Bucky's Captain America version did have a gun on him. He had a gun on him. And I kind of was like, oh, this is interesting. This moment right here was really a callback to me of the Winter Soldier version of Captain America. So I don't know. It may happen. And I think that would be the thing that would surprise everybody if Bucky ended up. Now, I think it would offend some of us.
Hey, it won't offend me. I said I am giving Marvel more credit than just giving it to Falcon. I believe they have a more complicated story, which is odd to say from Marvel and complicated story, but I just saw Wanda make no sense for 9 episodes. So I'm going to assume they have a more complicated story than giving the shield and giving a mantle to Falcon, because that's the one everyone expects them to do. And I think with these shows, they don't want to do everything people are expecting. So maybe, just maybe, they give it to Bucky.
We'll see. I mean, this is your boy Bucky. I mean, what if they do something dumb and they say they both Captain America?
Oh, yeah. That was always a possibility. Of them
how would you feel about that?
Oh, it's stupid, but it's not. It's something that's not as obvious to people. So hey, it's stupid, but it's not that bad. Because I don't care about the Captain America mantle. Let's first get off by that. I don't care, not even a little bit. I would love it if he could just be Falcon and become like the guy that he needs to be. I would like for him to be the Winter Soldier and be the guy he needs to be, and them not have to live up to Captain America, because I think that's just unnecessary. But I understand they feel the need to have a Captain America in their universe, so they're going to create one.
Oh, yeah.
But why? Why? We're not getting another Iron Man, are we?
Yep.
See what I mean?
I'm talking about that later. off camera. Ironheart,
See?
ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully y'all enjoy her.
But no, that's different though. That's different. That's different. That's different. Okay. She's Black Iron Man. I know. I get it. But like, you know what? This is awesome. Weekly episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier brought to you by Team JVS. Please look down in the description bar below, and you can follow us on all our socials as Sam talks trash about this in secret. I'm gonna put up on his burner account too, because Sam has a burner Twitter where he talks trash about all Marvel shows on it. So
wait, what? No, I don't do that. I didn't say that at all. No, I don't do that. Look, I'm gone. Later, y'all.